In 1991, I was approached by an individual to fund a brand new self-storage ranch-style facility in Auckland, and we put that funding through. I was with the Bank of New Zealand at the time. Over the next 4 years, this company grew 4 more facilities, and in 1995, they approached me to run the business on their behalf. In 1996, we were building our first multi-level 6-storey facility in Auckland, and I arranged to have a meeting with Jim Miller in Sydney, who was one of the largest operators at that time. I had a morning with Jim, and he talked about self-storage and the association, and then John Perrins from Steel Storage had arranged a luncheon that day where the Secretary of the Self-Storage Association of Australasia, Don Seaton-Wilkinson, was there, Sam Kennard, John Perrins, and a couple of John's partners, plus one other person. Anyway, as a result of that meeting, we, National Mini Storage, the company I lead, joined the association, and that was in the latter part of 1996. I guess the challenges for us were initially around the site, as while it had fantastic exposure to Auckland's southern motorway, actually getting to it was not quite so straightforward, and getting council to agree the kind of signage we wanted was also a challenge. The construction of the facility itself was relatively straightforward. We used timber framing and colour steel with roller doors, and it was a 500-unit facility, and from there the challenge was this was something new to Auckland. Yes, there were some self-storage facilities, but there was nothing that large. However, we had employed some very good initial managers. They burnt a lot of shoe leather and did a great job. So within 18 months, this one was full, and we were already building our second facility. My first recollections were of an association that was looking to improve the lot of the members, was very focused on data, was also very focused on values, and had built up a very strong connection with the American Association, with a number of American speakers coming to the association's annual conferences and speaking. I think staffing has been our biggest challenge over all of the years, partially because it's not seen as a sexy sort of an industry, and also, you know, we kind of model ourselves around the retail sector, and again, if you think about retail and clothing and all of those sorts of things, it just really didn't stand up. And I think also for us, we are fine today because of our size, but we couldn't actually provide career paths. We just weren't big enough. And for a lot of young people, that became a very important factor, and we just couldn't hold on to them. National Mini Storage has benefited, I think, in a number of ways. One, it's enabled us to benchmark ourselves against others in the industry who we look at and say they are doing some very smart and good things. So that's enabled us to look at that. It's enabled us also to contribute through the URBIS studies. And that again, that provides great data and information for us, but we also think, you know, it helps the industry overall. And I'd certainly like to think that, you know, when people look at National Mini Storage and what we do and where we're located, they think, okay, that's not a bad benchmark model to at least start out and see. So I think it's been a win-win, and obviously we've also contributed in terms of the people we send to conferences and what they get out of it, and that whether that be our managers or our senior customer service staff. I think the friendships have probably been, for me, some of the key aspects. And what that's meant is that, you know, I can pick up the phone, I can ring Sam Kennard, I can ring Michael Tate. Mark Bateman and I have become firm friends while Mark's retired now, fierce competitors, and obviously that goes for Michael Tate and Sam Kennard in the Auckland market. And then again, within the New Zealand market, most people I know, and that's just fantastic from our point of view. And then at the next tier down, the Richard Whalens, the Eastwoods, people like Dallas Dogger, and David Blackwell. It's just been very special, and it goes back for me now over 25 years, and I can't say the same about my previous career in the banking sector. I guess the funniest instance we've had is one of our properties had another property beside it, and that was burgled. Anyway, the police turned up, the burglar came out, saw our chain link fence, and thought, righto, I'll climb over that and I'll get through this property. And of course, when he got to the top, there was a hot wire. This is about 7,000 volts going through. And believe me, he jumped, but he had a police dog at the bottom of the fence plus a cop, and he thought, righto, I've got to do this. Ran to the other side of the property and did exactly the same. And of course, they were waiting for him on the other side. And he apparently said to the cops afterwards, he said, I should never have done that. I should have just lay down and waited for the dog. So I think that's probably been the funniest thing.